One percenters, welcome back. Coach Tom here to talk to you about becoming a better basketball player. Now, there's a lot of ways I can go with this, but the biggest mistake that I see players, parents, coaches doing and making is what they decide to start training first. So if you had a kid or a new player that wants to get involved in basketball, what is the first thing that you would start teaching this player? Would it be ball handling, shooting, passing, defense, offense? Would you be teaching them the rules first? What is the very, very first thing that you would start teaching this player? Now, when I pose this question to my players and when I talk to parents, they always say something like, oh, dribbling first or shooting first. But that's wrong. And let me explain why. The very first ability you should teach your player is athletic ability. Now, basketball is a very, very athletic sport, and for you to participate in basketball, you have to become a very, very good athlete. So the ability for you to move, lunge, jump, squat, cut, slow down, chop your feet, move laterally, side, twist, turn, swivel your hips, all these things have to be taught. Kids can pick up things very, very early on just from watching, and their body will self-organize. Naturally talented kids will organize their bodies in such a way where they will perform the move efficiently and correctly. A lot of kids don't have this talent. They'll be very clumsy. They'll lack the coordination. So they have to be trained how to move properly. Now, this step is usually forgotten about or taken as a given that players will just learn how to move, how to cut, how to jump properly. But it's the biggest mistake that you can make, because at every level, the athletic ability gets higher and higher and the demands get greater and greater. For you to participate even in the sport, you have to be athletic enough to be on the court. You can have all the skill in the world, but you won't even be able to get on the court, because you can have the best ball handling drills, but if someone is just more athletic, they will be able to get around you quicker. They will be able to steal that ball. You can be the best shooter in the world, but a more athletic, a dominant athletic player will never allow you to even touch the ball. So athletic ability is the base that you have to build everything else from. So it starts with athletic ability, and you have to train that coordination. You have to build up that muscle base, that foundation of strength, coordination, strength, okay, and then agility, power, speed, all those things can build on top of that. Your athletic ability is where it has to start. Now, you might think that I'm crazy, but think about some players in the NBA that have zero or very, very low skill that have become the most dominant players. Who are those players? Wilt Chamberlain, Giannis or Greek Freak, Shaq. Okay, these are the most athletic players ever. They are so dominant that you cannot beat them. They just go in the paint or they just drive right past you, okay, and they dunk or score very, very close to the rim. That doesn't take a lot of skill to make a layup 3 feet away from the rim, especially if you're jumping or you're 7 feet and you're just laying that ball in. That does not take a lot of skill like shooting a ball from distance or from three-point land. So the more athletic you are, the more advantageous you are, or the more advantages you have. Skill can be built on top of that athletic ability. Obviously, the more athletic you are, the better you will be. So early on, you want to maximize as much as you can by developing all different kinds of athletic movements, cutting, sprinting, backpedaling, twisting, turning, jumping, all these things. The more robust you're training athletically in the beginning, the more well adapted you will be to a changing athletic environment. So whether the game is fast or slow, you'll have the proper coordination and movements to be able to compete at that level. So that would be my major advice to all you parents, coaches, even players. Build up your athletic ability early on to make sure that you are able to compete and dominate athletically if you can. But then once you can do that, and once you continue to build that, while you're doing that, build your skill, your dribbling, your shooting on top of that. So don't forget about that, the athletic ability for you to move, cut, plant your feet, be on the balls of your feet, turn, swivel, all that good stuff is the foundation, the very, very first thing that you need to build if you want to be any type of athlete, especially if you want to be a successful athlete at a high level. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. I'm Coach Tommy. Remember to take 14 minutes, 24 seconds, or 1% of your day to get better.